WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Will Puckett. This week, Elkhorn City community members are starting a new conversation about ways to improve their town. Local musicians and people in Elkhorn are working to turn up the volume in the city, at least for a few extra hours. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more on some proposed changes to the city's noise ordinance.
The nightlife in Elkhorn City,
because 10 o'clock on a Saturday is a little ridiculous,
has left some locals looking for a compromise.
And with good work of the council, we have proposed a new noise ordinance,
which was brought to the city council during its monthly meeting Tuesday.
The discussion went great. It was unanimously yes votes, and there was no question about why we did it.
In its first reading, the new ordinance seeks to extend the noise curfew for the city's outdoor entertainment.
Elkhorn City's got so much to offer. It could be a tourist capital. And if we're going to take steps to go into that direction, you need to take small steps.
Centers says his band plays music in the city, and this small compromise, which includes extending the weekend noise curfew from 10 p.m. to midnight, is one of those small steps.
I think it's a step forward in allowing more entertainment in the city.
Councilwoman Roxanne Blankenship agrees, saying the ordinance change could benefit the community as many of them look for things to do.
Like with anything, there's going to be mixed reviews. No one's going to be fully for this or fully against this.
The first reading of the ordinance passed unanimously, leaving many people hoping the second reading will go as smoothly.
I'm very positive about this.
As they try to make Elkhorn City a destination. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, if approved, the ordinance will extend the outdoor events curfew from 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and until midnight Friday and Saturday. Event registration fees would also be discounted under the new ordinance. The ordinance receives its second reading during a special called meeting tomorrow at 1:30 in the afternoon. We have a consumer alert to pass along to you this afternoon. The Drug Enforcement Agency says the scammers are posing as the DEA or other law enforcement personnel, threatening arrest and prosecution for supposed violations of federal drug laws or crimes. The callers will demand the victims to pay a fine via wire transfer to avoid arrest. The DEA says that scam tactics do change, but if you get this call, to report it. Deputies in Floyd County need your help finding a wanted man. They say he is behind a store theft. They believe this is Jonathan Endicott. They say he stole thousands of dollars worth of cash, coins, and food from a business. It happened late at night on October 3rd and into the early morning hours of October 4th. The woman working that night told police Endicott had a knife.
The workers were able to look at the subject on their camera footage around the time the shift change started happening. They weren't even aware that they had been robbed. Just all they knew at that time was a male subject came in carrying a knife. That was the first thing she had told the owner.
Police say Endicott's most recent address is in Oxshire. If you know where Endicott might be, you are asked to contact the Floyd County Sheriff's Department.
And we saw that sunshine return once again today, but we started out with those mostly cloudy skies. We'll go ahead and take you to a few of our cameras. Interstate 64 into Moorhead. You can see the skies clearing up there. We saw those mostly cloudy skies, and then we saw plenty of sunshine throughout the afternoon. Looking into downtown Whitesburg, really much of the same story. Still dealing with a few clouds over there, but overall we are seeing those mostly sunny skies for now. And as we look at satellite and radar, you can see some of those clouds that we saw throughout the day today. They're dissipating as we head into the rest of those evening and overnight hours. Got a little bit warmer today, but still not that bad. Those low to mid 70s. You can still see those 60s over into Danville, Lexington, Moorhead, where they've dealt with just a little bit more of that cloud cover today. But compared to this time yesterday, we're a lot warmer, especially looking over into places like Pikeville, Prestonsburg, Hazard, and into Jackson, even down into parts of the Cumberland Valley. Now for tonight, most of us will drop into the upper 50s, lower 60s, partly cloudy skies. Could see a little bit of that patchy fog late tonight, early into tomorrow as well, but we warm up even more as we head into tomorrow and Friday. I'll have those details coming up in just a few short minutes.
Alrighty, Paige. Thank you, ma'am. Well, today, community said goodbye to a teenager who died in an accident last week. School officials say 17-year-old Fisher Barton died Friday. Barton was well known in his tight-knit community for being involved in lots of hobbies and jobs. His funeral was at 2 this afternoon at Cox & Son Funeral Home in Jellicoe, Tennessee. The largest newspaper here in Kentucky is cutting back. The Lexington Herald Leader announced it will stop printing a paper on Saturdays, though it will continue to publish an online edition. The move begins at the beginning of the year. Leaders with the paper will instead deliver expanded editions Fridays and Sundays. Writers will still post breaking news Saturdays on their website. UK Associate Professor Katie Urch says this will likely save the paper money.
But we do know that the physical act of four-color printing a newspaper and the expertise you need from the press operators and so forth is a very, very expensive entity. And so if they needed to make a big cut, cutting one day might really help.
The move is similar to what other papers are doing. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette dropped last year from 7 days a week to 5. A Black Lung Memorial is coming to Eastern Kentucky. It will be at Riverside Park in Whitesburg. Sunday, the Black Lung Association of Southeastern Kentucky will dedicate a headstone to honor miners who died from the disease in Letcher and surrounding counties. The association has been calling attention to a government trust fund that provides thousands of sickened miners or their surviving dependents with benefits. Turkish forces started invading Syria, launching a military operation against Kurdish fighters today. Turkey's president says the operation is aimed to eradicate the threat of terror against his country. The military offensive comes just days after President Trump abruptly withdrew U.S. troops from the region. A U.S. official told CBS News the U.S. will defend its troops on the ground, but does not have any intention to shoot down Turkish aircraft. Hundreds of thousands of people in California could be without power for days in the largest public safety outage in that state's history. PG&E started shutting off power overnight in more than half of the state's 58 counties because of what the company calls an unprecedented wildfire danger. Last year, high winds and faulty transmission lines sparked the devastating Paradise wildfire, killing 85 people and destroying almost 19,000 buildings. PG&E hopes the preventative blackout will avoid similar disasters. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, experts say poor posture from sitting, walking, and even using our phones affects the whole body's health. We have some quick tips to help strengthen your slouch.
And we do see those warmer temperatures as we head into the next few days, but another big cold front will move in and bring us a pretty nice cool down as well. I'll have those details coming up in just a little bit.